The only problem with Santino and Andy is this podcast.
I just love messing up the opening. That's all.
You know, it was really funny. The first couple episodes, when I did my big survey that is
Hmm.
already incomplete of our ratings for
Hmm.
the show. I mentioned that last week, so that we can actually keep track of what we've given things and not just spend 5 minutes stalling every episode.
Hmm.
The first couple episodes of the show start with funny versions of the opening that aren't normal. And I think that's funny. Like it's immediately like one where you're like, oh, I'm going to start it. And then it's
Uh,
another thing like that. And then even the third one might be one where I like mess it up and I just kept it all in. And it like took like 3 or 4 episodes of the show
hmm.
for us to have a normal intro,
Yeah.
which I thought was really like we're riffing on an idea that doesn't quite exist yet. We're just
Right.
trusting the audience to know we're not awful at podcasting and
Hmm.
that we're embracing the happy
Or
little accidents.
are we just so darn good at podcasting that we can break all the rules because we know all the rules? It's like cubism. You're actually a really good artist. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
that's, maybe this is like a cubist podcast.
This is a cubist
Welcome
podcast.
back to your favorite cubist podcast. Let me
Mhm.
introduce myself. My name is Andy Matsky. I am a guy who likes talking about movies. I'm joined, as always, by Santino Vitali, who is a guy who likes talking about movies, and he's also likes making movies, and he's also pretty darn good at it. Let me say this: this wasn't on the script for this week's episode. Uh, Santino's YouTube channel, if you ever question like what is this guy talking about, what does he know about making movies, go check out Santino's YouTube channel. I went on a little deep dive like a couple days ago, a few days
Uh, uh,
ago, because I was curious what was all on there. And man, if you're a fan of stop motion animation, if you're a fan of short films,
If you're a
that
fan of YouTube creators who disappear for like 3 years at a time, upload a random like 2 minute thing that gets 100 views, and then never hear from them for another 3 years, you're gonna love my channel.
yeah, so check it out. There's a lot more up there than I thought there was. I've just
Most of it's old crap.
Most
So
of it's old crap, but even the old crap is like entertaining, kind of weird, like very
yeah.
interesting. You see the progression of Santino Vitali, and
Uh,
and there's a couple random like Blender tutorials if you're into
mhm.
Blender.
Which have the most views of anything, which is a little insulting, but hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, who
I'm just a
knows?
piece of meat to the YouTubers. They just wanna chew me up and spit out the bones. They just want a free
Yeah,
ride, man.
yeah, that is YouTube. But this week, we're typically a movie show, but
Yeah.
this week we're breaking the formula in
Mhm.
another way by talking about Volume One of the Netflix original limited series Stranger Things
Mhm.
season 5. I might have said some of that wrong, but it's not. We're talking about Stranger Things season 5, volume 1,
Yeah.
because we are milking Stranger Things 5 for all it's worth. If you're listening to this when it comes out, or really anytime after it comes out, the whole show will be done. But as of recording this, it will only be volume 1, the first 4 episodes, because they decided to release it in different chunks, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
Well, and also on the note that we normally do movies, we do movies, but when a TV show's episodes become a bloated 80 plus minutes long
Oh
each,
my
you're
gosh.
pretty much already into miniature. It's a series of movies at this point.
Yeah, and the rest of the series, the rest of the season is going to
Yeah.
be just giant episode after giant episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of, hey, don't sound too upset already. We haven't started talking about uh so Stranger Things 5. What's really funny for me coming into Stranger Things season 5 is I
Mhm.
barely remember Stranger Things season 4, because I was
Yeah.
sick when it came out.
Were you?
With Yeah, I had just gotten back from Alaska and I was like the sickest
Oh,
I've been in recent memory. I like got back from Alaska. I was here for a couple days. I was like, okay. And then I got pretty sick and then I got really sick. And that included like pink eye that was like oozing from my eyeballs. So I remember watching Stranger Things season 4, like having to like wipe stuff away from my eyes to be able to keep watching. It was a really
oh.
weird time to be watching a show with a guy who had like eyeballs sewn shut because my eyeballs would get like sealed up. So maybe I need to revisit Stranger Things 4 when I'm
No, you
not
don't.
like
It's not that great.
what I yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
second weakest season behind maybe this one. Spoiler alert, by the way, guys. Normally we talk about classic movies or things that have been out for a while. So with this one, if all two of you who are listening, if you haven't
Yes.
seen Stranger Things yet, you might want to run off and do it. Or, if you don't really care about the show that much, just let us tell you why you shouldn't care about the show that much.
Yeah, about this season, I think
Yeah.
you and I don't want to speak too much for you, but we appreciate the first few seasons. Aren't you a big fan of season 3
I
even?
love season 3 and I love season 1. Everything
Yeah.
else can go.
Season 1's really good. I was explaining this to somebody. I was saying what I thought about Stranger Things to somebody the other
Mm.
day. And season 1 is like, let's just blend 80s genre films and do a ton of homages and make like a kind of interesting grounded sci-fi story that
Mm.
then grounded might be a bit generous, but like fairly
It's
grounded.
more grounded than everything after that.
Yeah.
And all
More
the characters get their arcs.
yeah, let's make like this interesting, like everything's going weird in this town show. And it's very good. And like, yeah, let's blend Steven Spielberg movies and
Every
B
Stephen
horror
King.
movies. Yeah. Every Stephen King thing and like B horror movies from the 80s. And it's this really interesting kind of nostalgia-y, but also like new and
Mhm.
different.
There's a lot of mystery.
Yeah.
The emotionalism is very satisfactory. Like basically season 1 is your perfect season. You could have just
Yeah.
never made anything after that and we would all been fine. Season 2 is a big swing and a miss. Like almost none of it works.
Yeah, I remember not being too
And
into season two.
no,
Two is kind of weird.
they did well. First of all, it's an odd season because there's 9 episodes instead of 8. So anytime you have a season that breaks the 8 episode formula, it kind of falls apart. Because the one thing Stranger Things is generally really good at is its pacing, and each episode kind of snowballs into the next one, and it's really watchable. It's like a domino effect. And instead, you get an odd episode, just like season 4, things start to kind of fall apart. In
Yeah.
season 2, the writers just kind of forgot who some of the characters were and just decided, hey, let's just have them make really dumb decisions that don't make any sense. And then they kind of corrected course, I think, in season 3. Now, I know that season 3 is a bit of a contentious season because I know that one divides fans from the people I've talked to. Like you either love season 3 because it's just big and kind of dumb and fun because it makes no sense, or
Is
you hate
season
season.
3 the one they go to Russia?
No,
Or is
that's
that
season 4.
4? Okay.
Season 3 is
And
the
what happens
Russians.
in
Season 3 is it takes place in the summer and the Russians are under the mall and Steve and Robin and Dustin, it's Scoops Ahoy.
Oh yeah.
They go in the
See,
mall. Yeah,
yeah. Season 3
that's a
is
really
good.
fun one.
Yeah, that's where we get the whole Dustin and Steve bromance, right?
It kind of starts in season 2, but the dynamic between Steve, Robin, and Dustin is really great in season 3.
Yeah, it's great.
They're the heart of that whole season. You have that amazing scene where Robin comes out to Steve in like I think episode 6 or something. They're in the bathroom. They just got away from the Russians, and it's like I'll watch that scene every month or so without exaggeration, just because it's such a
Wow.
it's an immaculate, like it's perfectly shot, perfectly acted, perfectly scripted, the right length. And then you get season 4, and season 4 has its good points. The atmosphere is really good. You could tell they had a lot more money to play with. Vecna was a cool character until they're like, oh, it's just number one. And now he's like the king of the upside down for some weird reason. And also a lot of season 4, just they spend a lot of time having characters travel places. Like there's a lot of people
Yeah.
trying to get to Russia and a lot of people in California trying to get back to Indiana. And it's just like it's a road movie where really nothing
That doesn't
happens.
really work, yeah.
No. So, and now here we are in season 5, picking up where season 4 left off, and they're all in quarantine, which is kind of
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it feels a little late to be like we're in quarantine. It feels well, let me be fair. I think it's interesting. It feels like there's almost enough time in between COVID
Hmm.
and now to be doing like a quarantine storyline that
Hmm.
doesn't feel like, oh, they're trying to be like COVID. But also,
Right.
anytime they say quarantine,
Yeah.
it's just like
There's a visceral
trigger warning.
reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for everyone. So that's interesting. How do we? I think we should just talk about this as like a chunk of a
Yeah.
thing. I
Yeah.
think
Well,
trying to
let's not
break it
even
up.
differentiate episodes. There's no reason
Yeah.
to. It's all one big glob of information.
Yeah. It's a wonderful glob.
It's a
Uh
glob.
it's a glob, all right. So initial impressions, what struck you going into the season?
Initial impressions, I mean, the first thing, and this is bad. You know something's bad when the first thing you say about something is, well, they had a lot of money to work with. You can see the money on the screen.
Yeah.
That's not good though, because that just means, $480 million. But what are you doing story-wise, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the very first episode, and let's not even say very first episode, the opening of this 4.5 hour-ish movie, right, is great. They do a good job. Again, Duffers are really good at introducing characters, which we're introducing more characters now. Not that we needed more, but we're introducing more. And they're really good at like giving you the lay of the land very quickly and in kind of a fun way. They're good at that. They're very, very good at that. So that struck me. Another thing that struck me immediately was they didn't fix the season 4 problem that they had with Robin's character, which was in season 3, Robin was like a cool character. And she was kind of half the reason or most of the reason they were able to find the Russian bunker. And
Yeah.
ever since season 4, she kind of faded into the background. It's like the writers forgot what her personality is. And now she just talks really fast and is kind of twitchy. And it's like, well, that's not that character, but whatever. So they didn't fix that. Dustin's become kind of insufferable.
What happened to Dustin?
He's like
Dustin's moody.
he's moody now because what's his face? Discount
Eddie.
Robert Downey Jr. Eddie died in the last one. And so now he's like trying to keep his legacy alive.
Yeah. And like the bullies at school hate him for that.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of like, I don't know. We're still doing like bullies at school.
Even though you're all like 45 and we can tell.
Yeah,
Like they were
it's like
too old for season 4, and now everybody's clearly Millie Bobby Brown's like 42. She's
yeah.
22, but she looks 42.
Yeah, I mean it's a little weird. I think some sort of nod to the audience there would have been nice, or like not trying to push it. Again, it's kind
Yeah.
of like we're in high school and we have bullies
Yeah,
and they
except clearly
and
we're
it's
not.
and it's the 80s, so they can
Uh-huh.
try to kill us and that's okay. Like so
Yeah, that's a little tired.
yeah.
Yeah, those are my initial impressions. It's just as this 4 hours kind of unfolds, well, it's more than 4 hours, it's almost five. As these hours unfold, we're getting interesting things to some of the characters. And the crawls are kind of a fun idea. And
What do you think about the fact that they kind of tried to show don't tell what's been happening in the meantime? Like there's a time jump between season there's always time jumps, but like there's a time jump between season 4 ending season 5. And it's
Mhm,
like we've been in this world where we do crawls now and
mhm.
I'm like really
You're
bobbing
really
and
moving
weaving
around a
for
lot.
those who don't
Mhm.
see that. Well, like we do this now and this is how things have been and this is what we got to do.
We're the
Like
resistance.
what do you what do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense. I guess we're to assume that these are the tunnels that are left over from season 2, because there's no way they dug all these tunnels.
Yeah.
So somehow they're still stable, even though that's like from 4 years ago.
And somehow the government
Hasn't
doesn't.
noticed.
Yeah.
Even though there's cameras everywhere and a big military presence, they're just everyone's going. And see, that's the thing. There's already suspension of disbelief with a lot of this stuff because it's fantasy sci-fi. But there is a certain threshold, I think, at which it starts to kind of break. And for me, it's kind of breaking or has
Yeah.
broken. By the end of episode 4, it broke.
Well, and I think we haven't talked about this in a while on the
Mhm.
show, but like a buy-in, right?
Mhm.
If your buy-in was season 1, or let's be
Right.
generous, your buy-in was season 3.
Mhm.
We're still pushing the line of what's
Yeah.
sci-fi on the show. And that is kind of weird. That like or not weird. Again, see, I always have to like be direct about how I really feel about. That's what's like kind of bad about this, right? Is it's like, well, it's actually it's alternate dimensions, and we're like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
we
And it's like,
know.
well, well,
But
it's like, but actually, the ultimate dimension has a big cloudy guy who
like,
can
yeah,
control minds. It's like,
that's cool.
okay, it's like,
Yeah.
well, actually, there's a guy down there, and
Mhm.
he kind of looks like Swamp Thing, and he's got really wicked powers
Yeah.
and here's his whole backstory. And it's
Yeah.
like, or here's most of his backstory. It's like,
Mhm.
okay. And it's like, well, now there's wormholes. And it's like,
Right.
okay, we're done.
Well, technically, to be fair, they've been doing wormholes. That teacher's been talking about wormholes since season one. But I guess what I'm getting at, and I think you probably feel the same, is, again, season three is ludicrous because there's Russians under the mall. Like a mile under the mall, and possibly far distance under the mall. There's no way they
Yeah.
could have built that. There's no way no one could have seen it. And yet, I buy that more than what's happening in season five. Like, that's how you know there's a
Well, and
meat
it's
monster in season three controlled by the mind flayer from the upside down that inexplicably melted citizens who ate fertilizer. And then they melted into a giant meat monster and attacked on the 4th of July. And that's still more plausible than half of what's been happening in season five. I'm stopping. I'm no longer, I don't care is the problem.
wow.
I just don't care. If I still cared about the characters, I'd have a better time buying in, but I stopped caring after season four.
Well, I just think maybe it's almost like a not genre shift, but it's like, okay, we go from like Amblin
Amblin
B,
sci-fi to just straight up Avengers fantasy.
yeah. And it's like, what are we do? I think I lost like and maybe this is, I mean, this has kind of been something this show's been doing, but the second that they started, Hopper just like straight up started killing some of the government people, I
Mm.
was like, what are we doing? Like, they're just the bad guys who we can like throw away. They're just these,
Yeah.
there's just goons who it's like, and there's no, that's something the show kind of like goes, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
I mean, to be fair, we
And
were
I think
kind of
that's,
already doing that in season one. I mean, 11 killed some people, and, the government was a problem in season two. And the Russians
yeah,
were a credible threat in season three that I wish we would have stuck with. But now it's just our government again. And now it's just kind of like, well, whatever.
yeah, it's just weird.
Hmm.
It's just weird. I just can't imagine how things could get stranger.
It's Stranger Things. Andy, it's gonna get stranger. It's in the name.
I'm just interested to see where this goes, but also like just almost from a perspective now, and this might be a little early to say this
It's
in the
like
show,
morbid curiosity.
but yeah, like how bad are they just going to screw this up?
Hmm.
Or it's probably going to be like and we can get to like season ending speculations later,
Hmm.
but
Oh, we
like,
will.
yeah, we'll get to that later. How about I just
Mhm.
say we'll get to that later?
Yeah, in like
In
20
the
minutes.
in the meantime, I think this season had some of the worst like acting and dialogue that I've seen from the show at the very least. So episode 2 had like
Dialogue.
awful bad.
I challenge
What are we doing?
anyone. I challenge Daniel Day-Lewis. I challenge Leonardo DiCaprio. I challenge the greatest actors of any given generation to deliver some of the lines these actors have had to do and do a better job. Like, as much as I'd love to crap on everyone involved, I'm gonna try to be nice. And I actually turned to my dad while we were watching, I think, episode two. And I know there's a couple specific lines I'm sure that you're referencing here. And I looked at him and I went, there's no way anyone could have delivered that better. And it still doesn't work, but that's probably the best take. When
Yeah.
when your entire show derails into inception levels of exposition so that the audience has even a clue of what's going on, and you have to do it while slightly out of breath, like, Mom, you don't understand. See, I was able to see through his eyes, but it wasn't really his eyes, it was Fecton's eyes, but we were both the thing all the way back then. And you just give us like this huge information dump. It's like there's no way you can say that. There's just no way
Yeah.
you can say it and
Well,
sound
it's
normal.
that, and it's even the like, you just don't get it, Mom.
Yeah.
That's the way I am now.
He's
Like all that
5 and he's
stuff,
still like pouty. Yeah.
yeah, is like, and to your point, I think those are some moments like that too, where it's like, how did we think this scene would play out? Like even Winona Ryder being like, well, you're just my baby, Will. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Dude, he's like 6 foot now. He's still got that
yeah,
stupid bowl cut, but like otherwise,
I don't know why we kept the bowl cut.
also we knew who he was. Because let's face it, at this point, their characters are also interchangeable. You could put a bowl cut on Mike and you wouldn't really notice, other than he has that hollow face. You'd just be like,
Yeah.
the gay one looks a little odd today. Like, you
I
wouldn't
mean,
know.
like, the thing is, like, I feel like part of this, what's with the dialogue, what I don't know whether it's the dialogue or the acting, but like Finn Wolfhard is holding this like the show together, not his character, but
Right.
like just his performance
Hmm.
and the lines they happen to give him
Yeah,
can
he's
like
better this season for
we're
some reason.
like, yeah, we're like, okay, thank you for like
Right.
just kind of giving us like a, I don't know, like again, I probably should have gone back and rewatched these scenes and really thought about it. But
Hmm.
anytime it started to be that anytime he was on screen, it would be like, oh no, okay, like Mike's in the scene, it'll be
Hmm.
probably pretty good.
Right.
I mean,
Which is a thing we haven't said since season one, by the way. I
yeah,
want to make this clear to the audience as well as ourselves. I'm sure you felt this way because it's obvious. I shouldn't say feel. This is an obvious thing that's happened. In season one, Mike was indispensable. He was the reason Eleven was safe. He was the reason that they avoided harm. He was like the mover and the shaker. He was the one leading the group. You get to season two, it's emo Mike. He just pouts the whole time because Elle's gone. Season three, Mike just is an idiot who can't
yeah,
make any good decisions and he just wants to make out with Elle. And then season four, he's basically absent. I couldn't tell you a single thing he affected in season four. And now all of a
amazing.
sudden, season five, it's like Mike from season one called and he's back. Now
Yeah,
no one else makes sense, is the weird thing.
yeah, little
No one else makes
pretty
sense.
much no one else is like themselves. But if Mike's like in a scene, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Like
grounded.
his acting's pretty good.
Hmm.
And like the lines he's giving is pretty good. His character makes sense.
Yeah.
Like is kind of leading the pack, but
Yeah.
also isn't, is kind of like pushing back on some things. And it's
Hmm.
like, how come this is the part of the show? And not to hate on Finn Wolfhard. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. But like, it's like
Well,
how it,
well, you haven't seen any of the movies.
well, I've seen the first one. I
Okay, he
guess
was
he's
in
in.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but I mean, he pretty much played Mike. I feel like,
Every actor basically just plays themselves.
but it's like, so that's interesting. I feel like, yeah, Dustin's pouty.
I can't deal
Uh,
with Dustin in this season. I can't.
what's his face? Caleb is the actor's name. I don't know why I can't think of the.
That's because his character has had that little of an impact since season one. He is the Garrett Morris of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
He does nothing. In fact,
what's his
when
character's name?
they who knows when they he's the token black kid. That's the only
Yeah, I was gonna
reason
say,
he's
like,
there.
how come
Lucas.
Lucas?
I just
You do
remembered
the
it.
whole time.
Yeah. No,
I
I
swear.
didn't. I just remembered it now. So Lucas is so unimportant that that's how little you remember of him is you can't remember his name and the same thing with Max. Like Lucas in this season is like he's at her bedside in the hospital. He's like, we can't do it without you. Name one thing she ever did that
She got
affected
killed by
any
Vecna
outcome. Right,
almost.
but that didn't affect the outcome. That could have been anybody that got killed by Vecna. She didn't help in season two. She didn't help in season three. She didn't do anything in season four except get killed. So this is what happens when you have too many characters and you refuse to kill off characters in previous seasons. You end up with this bloated cast, and then when you end up with a bloated cast, other characters recede into the background.
Yeah, that's a fair comment because they keep adding people. I will
Mhm.
kind of defend the fact this show does kill people and they stay dead. Like some people, like a lot
Almost
of.
no one.
Well, Sean Astin's character.
Is he really dead? Is he going to come back in this episode? They brought back Papa. He was supposed to be dead. They brought back David Harbour. He was supposed to be dead. They brought back
But
a lot
like
of people.
they never kill somebody and then there's a season break. Or did Pop was that Papa?
That was like that was a 2 season break. Papa dies in season one. He comes back in season four. No one is safe from the pale
But
specter
then
of
Barb is
rebirth.
dead. Eddie is
But
dead.
Barb was an unimportant character, and you knew Eddie was going to die and stay dead because he did the thing that they do in every like police procedural, where the one cop is like, "I got a week to retirement." Well, he's going to die because he's got a week to retirement. And so Eddie started in season one. He's like, "I'm going to graduate this year. I know it. Nope, you're going to die. We know you are, and that's your purpose in this show." We
Yeah.
knew he was going to be the sacrifice.
So it's the very important question. It's time
Mhm.
we got around to it. How do
Mhm.
you feel about Steve in this season?
I still like Steve. Here's the problem. There's so many characters, even in his group, that he's receded into the background. And so now Steve's only purpose is to basically say something that causes conflict between him and Dustin or him and Nancy's on again, off again boyfriend. I don't know. Hopeful fiance, whatever
Yeah.
the heck Jonathan is at this point.
Buyers, yeah.
Yeah. And so I commented this to Dad like 2 days ago. I said this, and tell me if you feel this. I feel that I'm really noticing the writer's hand in every episode. which is a thing you shouldn't notice. But there's a thing that happens because, ladies and gentlemen, I am kind of a writer. I have written
He has a
several
blog.
things. I've written several scripts. I have a blog. I've been published.
I have a
There are
treatment
things.
of
Yeah,
Santino's
I
right
have a
here.
treatment. There we go. Oh, he printed it out. Dang. So, and when I'm writing, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I said, we were talking about what it takes to keep a scene alive. And you have these instances where you've just got characters talking. And, one thing you can do is you can do like a walk and talk. You move your characters around. Aaron Sorkin does that a lot in The West Wing and almost in everything. In Moneyball and Charlie Wilson's War, characters walk and talk. It keeps things dynamic. The problem, of course, is when you have a scene and there's really nothing else you can do, how do you keep it entertaining? Well, we know implicitly that story is conflict, right? And so one of the things that you see in dialogue in really like kind of poorly written movies is just a lot of conflict for conflict's sake. If you watch a lot of B movies, as I do, and I know you do, Andy, but if the audience does, you might notice, especially in films like Chud and some of the other ones, like people are just confrontational all the time. Like somebody will walk in a room, and they're like, it's immediate conflict. And that's kind of a shorthand where you can tell the writer doesn't know what to do with the scene. And so they're like, we just need stuff happening. So that the audience, it's a smoke screen of activity. So, things are moving, characters are arguing. This is entertaining, right? Except it's not. And so what I've noticed a lot with the Steve, Jonathan, and Dustin subplots is there's just constant conflict. So much so that I think it was the last episode, they punch through to the Upside Down and they're driving really fast. But of course, it's smoky in the Upside Down. There's low visibility. And so they're going to crash. You know it. If you've ever seen a movie before in your life, they're going to crash. And of course, Steve isn't looking at the road because he's arguing with Dustin, but he's arguing for an inordinate amount of time. And it's an argument that's going nowhere. They're just kind of saying the same thing back and forth to each other. And I remember thinking, well, they're trying to buy time so they can get in a wreck. And 2 seconds later, they got in a wreck. You can feel the writer's hand. And so
Yep.
my big beef this season with Steve isn't that they screwed up his character. His character's still the same. It's just he has so little to do that the only thing like what's happening is Dustin walked into that one scene and he had figured out like that the wall is a circle, right? And he walks in, he starts talking about math. And the writer must have been like, oh, we've got like 5 characters in this scene. Steve hasn't said anything in like 2 pages. What do we have him say? Well, let's just have him, you know, naysay it. Let's just have him be like, I don't want to do math. This is stupid, right? And then he just goes and sits somewhere. So it's just criticism. We're
Yeah.
not moving anything forward. We're just fighting. And that's how it's probably going to remain until we kill some friggin' characters off.
Yeah. There's a lot of just, you're right. There's a lot of like arguing this
Hmm.
season,
Yeah,
almost for no reason.
just so that something can happen.
Yeah. Just so people are like, there, Nancy showed you that the tracker will work.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
we didn't need that whole scene. That
yeah.
scene was pointless. All that scene was really there for
That scene
was,
introduced like proposing.
yeah, but we
Ooh.
could have done that some other time. I guess the main point of that scene, if you look at it, okay, what are the writers trying to tell us? They're trying to dispel, which I think is hilarious. They're trying to dispel the suspension of disbelief that we as the audience would have of going, hey, if you shoot that tracker, is it not going to work anymore? And you could have just done that test. Like you could have just done a jump cut and gone to them testing it and be like, it still works. And we would have been like, okay. Instead, you took like 5 minutes to do it and then had all this other, I don't know. It's just, everyone's just arguing. And, Holly's in the Upside Down
The
and
whole Holly thing,
super
that's
weird.
it is
And the fat
weird.
kid. Yeah.
I like the fat kid. The fat kid's funny.
The fat kid. Yeah, but now see, here's another friggin' character. Here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Tell me if this was your reaction. Because when they hatched the plan to kidnap him and his family after dosing them with whatever the heck that was, and then like taking them to a secondary location, when that happened, I actually stood up because I was out of water. I stood up and I went, "Well, that's it for me." And I just walked out. The episode was still playing. I walked out and got water because I went, "This might be." There are a lot of ridiculous plans. Again, Russians were under the mall. But for whatever reason in this season, I just can't buy in.
Yeah.
Everything they say is more absurd than the last thing. And I just go, I don't even know what we're doing now.
Well, it's like, yeah.
And they
It's
still refuse to kill characters because Mike and Nancy's mom and their discount Matsky dad. Do you know that I have this inside joke?
nope.
That Mike and Nancy's dad kind of reminds me of Mark.
Have that inside joke with who?
My
My
dad.
dad. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Like
was gonna
anytime we watch Stranger Things, whenever their dad's on screen, dad just goes, "Ah, it's Matsky." It has nothing to do with your dad. Like it really has nothing to do with him other than like
they vaguely look alike.
it just has like the like conservative kind of like part and just glasses. There's really nothing
I kind of
else.
want dad to dress up as him for like Halloween now.
There's nothing, there's literally that's where the similarity
Yeah.
ends. It's just like a conservative Midwesterner. But it's just for whatever reason, I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, they
It's pretty
almost killed
great.
Matsky. And they still didn't kill anybody. They're just in the hospital. They Krakoa shot him out of the show. They're probably not going to come back now. They're just in the hospital. They were a means to an end.
Yeah. That's too bad. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this season. I think partially because I don't know how it ends, which is like,
Mhm.
well, I chose to do this episode, so
Yeah.
good job, Andy. But like, it's just weird because this show started out as like a fun homage to 80s films,
Mhm.
and
And a
now,
really solid drama and a really solid mystery and a really solid sci-fi. And
yeah.
each season it just gets dumber.
And I think you've mentioned this before, so all credit to you. But the fact they've told so much, but the fact it's still confusing is
Yeah.
kind of annoying. Like,
Hmm.
is the Mind Flayer in control of Vecna, or is Vecna in control of the Mind Flayer? The fact that's like a up in the air question. Santino is rolling his eyes for those of you at home who
Yeah.
can't see him.
It's something, man. It's really
But
something.
it's like the fact that's what we're doing, instead of it being like, oh, the government's doing these weird tests on kids,
Hmm.
it's now like, and there's another dimension involved with these
Hmm.
monsters. And I don't know.
The other dimension with the monsters, that's been since season one. I've got no problem with it. I had no
Yeah.
problem with the Mind Flayer. I was like, oh, that's cool. Never seen that before. Here's the thing. If I had to make a prediction, I know we're not to that point in the episode yet, but I'm going to jump ahead just for
Don't
this
do
point.
it. Don't do
Just for this
it.
point. Vecna's probably controlled by the Mind Flayer. He was probably good all along. That's a whole other thing. We'll get to that. But the thing is, like, once we got to episode four, which I know I said we weren't going to distinguish, but episode four
I mean,
was kind of the place.
we have been, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's the place where the wheels really started to come off because I realized that's 80-minute episode, a little over 80 minutes.
Whew.
And the first hour is mostly taken up by exposition. The entire time that Max is on screen is her explaining to us, Holly, the audience, why she's there, how she's still there, the mechanics of how this other place works. Her entire screen time is just talking about why.
Where
That's
Holly
bad.
was a mystery for like an episode and a half. And I
Yeah,
think that's kind of silly.
right.
Like, obviously, Vecna's involved, upside down question mark.
Mhm.
But like,
Yeah, where
volume one, we got
Mhm.
explained to her like in detail pretty much
Yeah,
what was going on.
all we've had is exposition
Yeah.
through this entire season, but especially the last episode, until Will goes all, more powerful than 11, white eyes rolled back doing stuff, which, that's another thing. The minute earlier in that episode, the minute when Joyce was like, "Did you feel like you could stop them?" I was like, "Oh, okay, so he's going to be like in their minds and now he's going to have powers." Because apparently it's just trauma and being connected to the hive mind is all you need for powers because that's how 11 got it, that's how all the other numbers got it, that's how 1 got it, that's how what? Number 6 or whoever the heck was in the thing from
Yeah, I
season
don't
2.
remember, but I do remember.
I do remember her power from season 2. Do you remember?
What was her power?
Her power is unless I'm confusing her with a different number, but I think she's the only other one we've met. Her power is to like make you hallucinate things and like see
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And so I'm betting that the reason that the army has her, because I think it's also really stupid that the army has a base in Hawkins and also in the Upside Down.
I think
And
it's really
so,
dumb they have a base in the upside down.
yeah,
That's like where we break the laws of the show is
right,
like, well, the government
is
has a
on the Upside
base,
Down.
and it's
Mhm.
like, what? And
Right.
also Vecna's in there.
Hmm. But here's the thing. I think I think this is going to be their excuse. The reason that they've been able to be in the Upside Down and not be attacked by every Demogorgon within a 5 mile radius is probably because she's in there like projecting not invisibility, but basically she's their camouflage. She's like their Iron Dome, probably. And once she leaves, then the for whatever, better or worse, the government will be found out.
That's interesting, but also Hopper and 11 saw it. the government base, though.
Yes. That's all I have to say to that. Because
That's
I
fair.
can think of no other reason why she'd be there behind a vault, hooked up to things.
I think the whole like it's Henry, it's not was so
Yeah.
dumb because it's like obviously it's probably not Vecna back
Yeah, there'd
there.
be no way they'd get him. They can't even catch and keep 11 under control. They're not gonna
Yeah,
eh.
and
Linda Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen. Linda
there's
Hamilton.
there's like a new lady.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you've seen Terminator.
no,
You've never seen Terminator. Yeah, well, Linda Hamilton, Terminator. She was
yeah,
married to
and
James Cameron for a bit. She looked basically the way she looks now. She pretty much looked like that when she was like 25. She's always looked very old and very masculine, even in her prime. I'm sure she's a nice lady. She has a twin sister. I'm not trying to like be mean, but like that's Linda Hamilton. Jaw for
and she
days.
and she's a
She's
new
another
character,
evil,
and
yeah,
it's
another
like
one.
why why are they all mean?
Because
Except the
they
one
they
guy
are.
who wasn't
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't.
Well, and notice Hopper didn't ever kill that one guy that they kidnapped and then were fighting with, and then he threw some acid in his face. So he's going to come back like Two-Face at some point and probably be an issue down the line because he didn't kill him up front. So
Yeah, I think he already was coming back for some, wasn't he?
probably, yeah, he's come
Yeah,
back a couple times already. So
he was like on the loose.
yeah, the juice is going to be loose some more. So
Stranger Things season 5, volume 1 is just
that's
shows where
something.
we're at as a
Yep.
culture. I
Yeah.
think it's just
Well,
like, what are we doing?
I knew we were in trouble in season 2 when she met the other numbers because I thought, well, now we're getting into Avengers territory and they're all just superheroes. And I knew eventually we were going to get back around to those. And luckily, we kind of stayed away from them for like 2 whole seasons. Now they're coming back. So I guess
What are
that's a
the
good segue into like our predictions.
what are the odds like everybody gets powers?
Well, not everybody, but I can tell you another person who's getting powers
Tell me.
for sure. Max. Max is coming out of that coma probably very next episode, maybe second episode in. She's going to have powers. She'll probably be blind, but she'll probably be able to see through the hive mind and she'll have powers.
Okay.
So
I
then you're
want
going to have her, Will, 11, and 6 or 9 or whatever the heck she is. And the 4 of them are probably going to face off against Vecna in a big Avengers Endgame show and big show stopping number. I almost said show and tell. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of that.
I'm
A lot of
doing my
hands.
hand motions,
Mhm.
guys. You can't see it.
Yeah, the
I
Force.
want all your predictions because I've like watched way too much, and it's only been a little, but it's already way too much. Like how season 5 of Stranger Things is gonna end, and I just want
Oh, you've
your
watched
gut.
like other people's?
Watched a couple.
I've seen none. I've purposely
I
not
want
watched
your.
anything on
I
YouTube.
want it all. I want it all.
Okay. Well, that's number one. Max is going to wake up for sure, and she's going to have powers. She'll probably be blind. If she's not blind, then we're really jumping the shark because of all the things that can't heal on a person is blindness. Her bones will reset, her eyes aren't. So she better be blind, and she's going to have powers. I predict, like I said, the 4 of them are going to battle Vecna, if not another number. Who knows where that person might come from? I don't know. I don't think anyone else is going to get powers. I think they're probably going to kill. Um, they might finally kill Hopper at some point. And at this point, hey, whatever. They'll probably, I'm afraid they're gonna kill Steve.
You've made this very clear off
Yes.
air
Yes.
that you are scared.
I'm very scared for Steve. He's the only character I care about at this point. But I don't know if they do that. I just know that like I'm afraid that they're going to be like, well, we're gonna kill a character and nobody's gonna see it coming, and then boom, we'll really have a reaction. But it's like it's the wrong, don't, it's the wrong character. So they might kill somebody we're not happy about. If they don't kill Steve, I think Nancy and Steve are going to end up back together, and Jonathan's going to be on the out.
I think Jonathan might die.
He might. I'd be fine with
And
that.
like holding the ring, being like, "I'm gonna marry you."
Yeah, that could be. Actually, I'd kind of like to see that. Let's see. They're going to kill Linda Hamilton, of course. The bad guys are going to die. I think the fight will probably all happen in the Upside Down because we've already got about half of our characters in the Upside Down as it is. I think some kids are probably going to end up, I don't know if they're going to end up dying, but they're probably going to end up getting all weirded out. Or maybe Holly will end up getting powers. I don't know.
What
And
do you
they're
think
probably,
the plot's gonna be? Do you have any like guesses of like what Vecna's master plan is, what the heck is going
I
on.
don't
Because
know
I
what
have
the heck is going
one.
on with
There's a
that.
couple guesses I've heard other people make that if it is the case, I'm going to be mad.
What, that
So,
like he's trying to make a new upside down by merging their consciousnesses
well,
into
something that
something.
like he's trying to do this to prevent the mind flare from coming through. Because apparently there's like Dimension X and and the normal world and the upside downs in between, and the mind flare wants to like get through, and it seems like he's trying to make a portal through, but he's actually trying to do it to like get that closed. I think basically anything that has Vecna actually be good,
Flip and
I
be
will
the
be
good guy.
mad.
Yeah.
I will be mad. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of
Yeah.
like villains who kind of go like, well, I was just
I
doing
was
what
just
I
trying to
thought was
help.
right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like Frankenstein kind of especially ruined that for
Hmm.
me, where it's like, I'm
Yeah.
just sorry. And it's like, okay,
Hmm.
I forgive you.
Yeah.
Like anything like that, where it's like, I was just trying to prevent what I thought was bad.
Hmm.
I'm also scared they're going to do time travel.
Yeah, time
If
travel
they
could be
do
a
time
problem.
travel, I'll be upset because they will have again been like, no, this time the sci-fi we're doing includes time travel.
Yeah.
It also will be a ripoff, spoilers if you don't know, it's mild spoilers,
Right.
of Avengers Endgame. Like you're
Hmm.
talking about it being Avengers.
Hmm.
They do time travel in that. In
Yeah.
their big
So
culmination.
you think they're gonna like time travel back to when 11 throws number one
Something
into
like,
the upside
well,
down, and instead of throwing him into the upside down, they just kill him, and then none of this can happen.
well,
But then we
something like
retcon the
that.
entire show.
Yes. I think we're gonna do something that could retcon the entire show.
Oh, that would be
And that
stupid.
would like I would kind of hate that. I think
I
that
would
could
hate
happen.
that more than anything else. Like literally, they could do anything else, and as long as it's not time travel, I'd be fine with it by comparison. If
Yeah,
it's
time
time
travel.
travel, I'm gonna poop your pants if it's time travel. That's what's gonna happen, Andy.
No,
My
it
poop
wasn't
will
me.
transcend time and space. It'll transcend distance, and it'll end up in Painesville. And you'll just be sitting. All of a sudden, you'll be like, "Uh-oh, what's that?" And I'll be
They
like,
did time
"They
travel.
did time travel, and Santino crapped himself, and it transcended time and space."
He crapped himself out of pure frustration.
Yes, it'll be a spite poop, like the way my cat has a spite poop every time we take him to the vet. He just squishes up against the back of the crate and just yeah, just shoots it out. Hopefully not time travel.
Yeah.
I do think though there's a 50-50 chance that the mind flayer is what's making Vecna evil and not that Vecna's just evil himself. Like there's a pretty
And
good
I
chance.
don't like that. I don't want that to be the case, to be clear. I
It would
agree.
make sense as to why he's afraid to go in that cave.
Have you heard there's a Broadway show they
Yeah.
did that apparently
And
explains a ton of stuff about Henry
yeah, and I don't know why we
and
needed that.
Vecna? I don't understand it.
Who asked for this?
Yeah, and it's apparently canon. So like,
Yeah. It's the problem. Once you start getting into having to have a canon, my mind tunes out. This is what I mean. Like once you get into like Avengers territory, once you do this like shared universe thing, I know that's some
if they
people's
go
bag. It's not
multiverse
me.
too, like extra well, we're all
Right.
already alter dimensions, but if it's like,
Well, we do have alternate dimensions
yeah,
in reality, so I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with like all the other Avengers crap we're gonna probably do. That's
yeah,
my thing. I know that's what some people like. I don't. I don't. I do not care for that.
I do not, I do not at all. I don't know if I have any grand predictions for the show beyond what we've said.
I must sit and contemplate my decisions, how I'm a better my position. Everyone is against me. I must figure out what I shall do.
I must realize the error of my ways. I have been seeking to better myself.
Yep.
Um,
I'll get rid of Riplevin and we'll go straight to the top with the Duffer Brothers and say, no, you will not do this. We will not have
hey,
spin-off. We will not have spin-off shows either.
I think there's going to
Once
be a
Stranger,
spinoff. I think
no,
there's spinoffs that are
no,
greenlit, and I don't
no.
understand how that could happen.
I will no. I will send bags of poop to the Duffers
Why is it all
front.
poop?
When I'm spiteful, I build up a lot there's a lot of
Poop.
stuff. There's a lot of excess that comes out of me.
Okay. Okay.
And I need to send it somewhere, and I will send them flaming bags of poop if they're gonna do it. I don't. When Stranger
I think
Things
there is a.
10,
I think there is. My phone's
then
gonna
I'm gonna
blow.
buy Netflix. Me and my zero revenue business. I'm gonna buy Netflix, and I'm gonna shut down all. I'm gonna red light all further Stranger Things. We don't need a shared universe. We don't need spin-offs because no one gives a crap about the universe. They don't care about the upside down. They like the characters. Now there's too many characters, and we don't care anymore because you wrote the characters out of their own show. It's just like what they
According
did with
to the
Walking Dead.
Google AI overview, yes, Stranger Things is getting several spin-offs, including
No,
the animated series Stranger Things Tales from 85,
no.
a Nancy Wheeler novel
Nancy
released in
Wheeler's
late
the worst character. Why would they give her a
released
novel?
in late 2025, and an untitled live-action series in development by the Duffer Brothers,
You
plus
know what?
ideas from the cast. Oh, well, never mind. Who cares about the cast?
You know what?
I mean, I care about the cast.
I'll give them the stupid novel. I'll give them the cartoon. No one's going to watch it or read it. Just don't make another live action show. Just for the love of all that is decent, just do
It's
something
in
else.
development.
It's in development. It could still die. It could stay in development hell. I'll go smack Bob Iger and what's his face and the other guy, and I'll rappel in through the roof of the Netflix board meeting room and just
Bob
start.
Iger's Disney. Why
I
are you
know.
beating up
Well,
Bob
just
Iger?
because he needs a smack on general principle. But then I'll go in and I'll just start river dancing all over their notes. I'll pee on the desks. There will be nothing left. They will have no. I'll destroy hard drives, Andy. There must be nothing. I want scorched
Go
earth.
in with a sledgehammer and a full bladder, and you'll wreck
A
that place.
sledgehammer and a full bladder. Yes. Yes, a sledgehammer and a full bladder. Exactly. Man,
You will
that
be
should be
well.
the title of my debut EP. Sledgehammer and full bladder. I need a t-shirt that says that, man.
And you with like sunglasses and a cigarette out
Yep.
of your mouth.
And a diaper. Ah, a diaper with like a nozzle on the front, like a hose nozzle for quick release.
maybe on the side for comedic effect.
No, right on the front.
Unexpected. Okay. Okay.
A golden nozzle. I don't know. We're way off. You know what? The wheels fell off of this conversation about as fast as they fell off in season 5 of Stranger Things. See, I brought it all
Wow.
the way back, guys. You thought I was just talking about peeing and pooping and out of anger and out of spite. Duffer Brothers, if you're listening, I loved what your show was. I'm a tad bit envious of your success. I wish you well, but please, just for the love of all that is decent, don't make another Stranger Things. We don't need any more. Do something else.
I'd love to see what else they could do that
This is
wasn't in this
probably
world.
it. This is probably it. They probably had one. They're probably a one-hit wonder. They have one really good idea. They're going to milk it for all it's worth.
Have they done anything else?
They did one like micro budget horror feature before they did Stranger Things about like people stuck in a bunker or something. I've never seen it. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. They're clearly excellent filmmakers. They're clearly good storytellers. They could write something else. They probably won't. They're probably going to stay in this lane. And that's
Yeah,
probably going to be it.
there's two shorts and a movie. It looks like it's about people in a bunker. It's called
Yep.
Hidden,
Yep. That's
released
the
by
one.
Warner Brothers.
Yep. So, I mean, and look, I would do the same thing. If I
Why
had a
is
winning
Alexander
formula,
Skarsgård's photo on IMDb him in a suit jacket, but he's not wearing any pants?
because he's cool that way.
I guess so.
Um, yeah. I mean, if I was in their position, I'd just keep letting the money roll in. But
That's fair.
you know, I think once I finish the season, though, I'd be like, all right, that's enough. I'll license whatever. We'll have comic books. We'll have like other media. But as far as live action, we're not doing any more live action. I'd nix that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't wait for the reboot in like 15 years.
But with the same cast, and they just de-age them, and they just hobble around
Yeah.
because they're all old.
Oh.
Something
Yeah.
interesting is going to happen. Millie Bobby Brown's either going to age terribly or she's going to look exactly like this in another 20 years. I don't really
Yeah.
know what's going to happen.
Who do you think is going to go on to be the most successful from the Stranger Things cast? It's kind of a silly question because they've already had careers past Stranger Things, but like
Yeah,
in movies.
probably Millie Bobby Brown. Joe Keery's had moderate success in some features and, some TV shows, and he'll probably still do well.
He has a very successful musical career as well.
Yeah, he's the Joe. The D is silent. He's doing well. I mean, Finn Wolfhard and a friend of his pivoted this past summer and made like a summer camp slasher film. They like directed it, and I
Oh
didn't.
wow.
They wrote and directed it. I didn't see it. It's got like an average rating, so I'm sure they're decent. They might pivot to that. I would recommend it. I don't really see. I don't know where their career could really go. Um, Maya Hawke has had a career outside of Stranger Things, even before Stranger Things. The rest of them will probably all just fade in the background. I don't expect that we'll see McLaughlin anywhere else or Will or half of the other ones. Dustin's probably not going to
Yeah.
go anywhere. And you can usually tell just when you look at like a personality, you go, what are they going to play? Because I remember calling this with the Fanning sisters. Like Dakota always played the girl, and Elle actually had a personality. And I remember saying like Elle's going to be the one who has the career. And sure enough, Dakota's still in stuff, but she really never gets parts. Like she doesn't get a
Yeah.
meaty part because she has no persona or personality. But Elle has a personality, and now you can market that.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
I appreciate it. I appreciate I appreciate it.
So what do you
Well,
have any predictions that
I
aren't
kind of sprinkled.
influenced by
I
like
don't think so.
other YouTubers?
I really think I agree with your Nancy and Steve getting back together. There's going to be
Mhm.
something there.
They've been working on that since season 4.
I really think there's just going to be about, oh well, it's hard to say because the episodes are so dang long. There's going to be at least 2 full episodes of exposition dumping, of
Oh, for
just like
sure.
world building
Hmm.
more. There's just going to be more. And the whole time this was happening, I think we're going to have like another 90 minutes of that,
For sure.
which is one episode, to be fair, because
Mhm.
these next episodes are long. They're going to be long.
Actually, the last episode will probably wrap up with some exposition. I don't think there's going to be a way that they can end things and not have to explain stuff.
Yeah.
You see what happened was when the wormhole number 5 opened up and Will had sprouted 3 heads and they all started making out with each other. There was a time space warp that then caused 11 to age backwards, and it's going to be something.
It's going to be something weird.
Hmm.
I think L's going to die.
That'd be fine.
I think L's going to die.
That would
I think
work.
Hopper's going to die.
Yeah.
I um think Mike's not going to be gay at all.
Oh, definitely not. I love this is a separate thing. I don't want to take you off course, but
No,
really
we're
quick.
going to go this way. I want to go this way.
So,
Well, let
Robin
me
gave
ask you this. I'm cutting you
yeah,
out. I'm cutting you
yeah.
off. How gay was this 4 episodes?
Not the gayest thing I've ever seen. It was just a little
Thank you.
annoying because they spent time on it like it was going to be something and it wasn't anything. And I was
Yeah.
just a little irritated because Robin gives him that whole pep talk. She can clearly see that he's got a crush on Mike, but she doesn't give him the heads up of going, "Hey man, maybe don't do that." Like we all know Mike's straight. We
Yeah.
all know Mike's straight. It's not like kind of straight. It's not like it could change. And he loves Elle. So maybe just like, I appreciate the crush. I understand a crush. Maybe go somewhere else with it. Like when she's telling him, like,
Yeah.
just be yourself, it's like, no, just be yourself is not like, I think you're taking the wrong advice from this, pal. Like, don't read
Yeah.
into it.
This wasn't that gay. I was told
No.
this season after I'd watched like an episode or two, someone was like, "Oh, this season's super gay,"
Hmm.
and I watched it, and I was like, there's gay stuff in it,
No. Yeah,
but
it
not
really
even."
and the only thing that's annoying is that right at the moment it's really not serving the story. There's just nothing
Yeah.
like I don't even mind if you have the subplot, just like do something with it. Right now, you've got him asking like, well, were there signals? How could you tell? It's like, Robin, just just like lock in with him and be like, look, I know you're looking for signals. You're not going to get any because Mike's straight. He's as straight as he could be. Just get over it and find somebody else. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, if we ever get out of this quarantine, go take a theater class. You're going to meet like 5 guys there. You'll be fine. Mike doesn't even comb his hair. He doesn't use product. You need a guy that at least use a 2-in-1 shampoo. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I had someone ask me like who hadn't seen it, and they were like, "Oh, it's so gay," and they're like, "I haven't seen it, but there's something about like," and I was like, if you
Oh,
think that's the gay stuff in this season,
that yeah,
you're
no.
reading stuff into
Oh yeah.
like what you're seeing. Even the
Hmm.
stuff with like Henry being creepy and weird and
Hmm. Yeah.
having a little girl come live with him, you
Hmm.
gotta be coming to the show being
Yeah.
like, oh, he's a pedophile.
Everything's a phallus at that
Yeah,
point. It's sometimes a cigar is a cigar, but it's not
yeah.
a cigar. Yeah, you'd have to be very
You're
Freudian.
like reading stuff in
Hmm.
like nobody's business. I feel like
Yeah,
I
I
get
didn't
it.
catch that. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
me
just
either.
like desensitized, but I didn't catch that. I wasn't going, oh, ho, ho, like that wasn't a thing that occurred to me. So, hey, 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 my fat Albert. Hey,
Yeah, I
hey,
love
hey.
that. If you catch something like that, you go, oh, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, yeah. If like all of a sudden something pops up on screen that shouldn't be, I'll be like, hey, hey, hey. Oh no. Like, and then I kind of waddle out of the room like this, just going, like that. That's what I do whenever I see
You
something like
turn into Fat
I
Albert.
turn into Fat Albert. I'm the biggest prude, and if like two people, if like a boob pops out, I'm like, hey, 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 and then I will just shuffle out of the room. Actually,
Oh,
here's a completely different thing, and maybe this is a good place to end on. Completely different, but kind of similar. My friend, whose name will remain off air, um, she told me that like whenever she would watch a movie with her parents, even like through her teen years, and even as a young adult, even maybe even I think mid-20s, and something explicit would show up like in the movie, she would just go into a sneezing fit until it was done. To like try to get as much attention off the movie as possible. She'd just be like, "Bleh, bleh, bleh," like until it stopped. And I love that,
wow.
by the way.
Can
That's
she
that's an
stop
amazing.
that now? Or is that still just did
I
she?
don't know. I'd have to ask her.
Wow.
But I do know for a significant portion of her, at least younger life, she would do that anytime something unsavory would show up on screen. She'd be like, "Bleh, bleh."
That's really
So,
funny. Well, here's the thing.
mhm.
I feel like it's a bit unfair to rate or
Yeah, since it's not
like say
done.
anything too much about this. Because here's the thing. I don't hate season 5 so far, but they
No.
could end it in a way
Mhm.
that I would hate it.
Yeah.
I don't see them ending it in a way that I necessarily love it,
No, they're
but
not going to pull
still,
themselves out of this tailspin, that's for sure. It's only going to
but
get worse. It's just how bad is it going to be?
yeah. So if it
Is the
gets a
question.
little worse, it's like,
Hmm.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But so I
I
know it's a
think,
bit of
oh, go ahead.
I
I
know it's a
think,
bit of a tease,
okay, wait.
but
Okay,
like,
wait.
and I also think,
Okay, wait.
well, depending on how much you get to see of this show,
Mhm. Yeah.
I think we might just do volumes 2 and 3 in one
Mhm.
instead of really milking this for all it's worth. But we'll see
Mhm.
how long it takes you and the family to watch
Yeah,
Stranger Things. So
this is true. We could probably wrap it all up by the next, the episode after the next.
yeah,
So
we'll
it should
figure it
only
out.
take us one more episode. Um, okay. Do you think, okay, we can't rate it, but do you think we
Yeah.
could just say, like, so far, if you want to compare seasons against each other, like rank your seasons not by number,
See,
but
I have
like,
such a vague memory of them, though.
oh, okay.
Season one's one,
Right. On
and then
top.
I don't really like they blur together
Okay.
in such a serious way that they're kind of forgettable to me.
Hmm.
And so like I would put here's what I do. Season one,
Hmm.
bad lip reading number one of Stranger Things season one would be second. And
Uh,
maybe that might be number one.
that's
I
not
enjoy that a
canon.
lot.
Not canon, Andy.
Super freak.
Mhm.
I've probably watched that 3 or 4 times this week. It's fantastic. And then I'd say I probably also really like season 3,
Mhm.
but 2 is interesting. 2, I don't know. I haven't watched these since they came out, and I also refuse to rewatch them. I might give season 3 another shot. 4's got to be 4 would probably be the. This is shaping up to be like a season 4. That's kind of how
Yeah.
I feel. To get it
Yeah.
out, to answer your question, I
That's
don't
fair.
see there. This kind of has nothing. And I mean, to like season three's credit and even season two's credit, this has yet to have like a, oh, it's the 80s moment,
Mhm.
really, at
Right.
all. It's so caught up in itself,
Hmm.
which is weird that it's so caught up in itself that it like doesn't have time to nostalgia bait. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no, they're going to watch this movie or there's no,
Mm.
there's just a wrinkle in time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think I would almost rank it the same. I think I would go like episode one is on top, then episode three, then probably the or episode Season one, then
I got
season
real
three.
confused for a second.
Yeah, season one, then season three, then probably season four, and then season two and five are kind of tied. I don't like season four, but I hate season two so much that I kind of want to put it on the bottom. So that's kind of where it's at so far. I just really didn't like season two.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But now maybe I ought to rewatch it and maybe I'd think it was better. I don't know.
Only
Hard to say.
only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
Are you giving me a movie to watch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I am. And actually, I had the movie plan, and then I thought of like two other movies, and now I'm like, I'm just gonna have to kind of flip a three-sided coin and see which way it
Flip the old
lands.
three-sided coin.
Because there's a couple movies I really wanted you to see soon, and I don't know which one I'm gonna go with. So, just so I'm sure, I know you haven't seen The Burbs,
Correct.
and I know you haven't seen White Noise.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Right. Have you seen Mouse Hunt?
I don't. You're saying random words at this point to me. Mouse Hunt? Have
Yeah.
I seen Mouse Hunt? No, I've not seen Mouse Hunt. I'm pretty sure. And White Noise?
White Noise 2022, not White Noise 2005.
No. No.
Okay. So, um, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you choose because it's Christmas.
No. You tell me. You tell me. This
Okay.
is how the show works.
Okay. Well, then here's what we're gonna do. I We're eventually gonna get around to everything I just named. But instead of what I was originally going to recommend to you, I want to kind of stay on the comedy road that we've been on for the last couple weeks. And I think you'll like Mouse Hunt. So, Mouse Hunt 1997, directed by Gore Verbinski. Yes, the same Gore Verbinski who did the Pirates of the Caribbean films and Rango and Cure for Wellness. Um, I believe this was his first film. So, Mouse Hunt is going to be what it's going to be, and which will be fun because I'll get to rewatch it, and then we'll get to talk about it.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us here over at The Only Problem.
Mhm.
We'll be back next week to discuss an interesting film. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, email us, and we'll get back to you real quick.
Promise. Where should they email us?
Onlyproblem with Santino and Andy at gmail.com.
There we go. If you can't remember that, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, come on.
It's not like we put it in the link.
We put a link in it.
Oh, we do. Well, it's not like it'll take you anywhere if you click on it.
My phone crashed once when I clicked it, so maybe don't do that. We'll see. We'll see next time on The Only Problem.